Hello, this is Elias5891. Welcome to Week 0 of the KTaNE League Fall 2020. I'm here to show you today how you're going to be running your seeds, how you're going to be verifying your seeds, how you're going to submit your runs, all that fun stuff. So let's just jump into it. There's a lot to go over. First things first, you are going to need the mission pack that contains the League bombs. That would be this particular workshop item, KTaNE League Fall 2020. As a warning, there was an older version up. This is a newer version. I'm not sure quite why it didn't override the previous one. I probably screwed something up. I apologize for that. You'll want to subscribe to that. I've got a local copy, so I'm not going to personally subscribe right at this second, but you'll need to have this subscribed. You'll also need a couple other mods done. So I'm going to go over to a profile, edit. I've created one called League Play Profile. I would advise having a profile for the league, just so you don't have to go through the trouble of disabling every single thing. Some things you'll have to disable, not all of them. So let's look at what we need. Solvable modules, needy modules, you can have whatever you want enabled here. I'd probably suggest leaving them all enabled. Bombs, lots of casings. You're going to want to make sure they're all disabled. No casings at all are allowed. That will mess with your RNG, it will screw up your test seed, and it will screw up your main run. So make sure you have no bombs enabled. Same goes for gameplay rooms. I don't have any installed because they mess things up. Just don't have any of them enabled. Services. You'll need 6. This one's going to be a no-fly. But you will need... Actually, you won't need all of these. You will need tweaks. You will need competitive server, which is competitive mode mod. Really, those are the only 2 you have to have. The rest of the 4 I've got here, dynamic mission generator, camera zoom, mouse unlocker, and log file hotkey service, those are fine to have. They're not mandatory, but they don't mess with anything. Sound pack maker will mess with something. Sound pack maker not only will mess with something, in my experience, it will do so even if it's disabled, because it does some random pulling prior to checking if it's going to run. I'm not sure if that's why it actually happens. That was my theory. So, Sound Pack Maker, Music Manager are going to be problems. Those 2 I know will have to be uninstalled, or rather disabled through the mod brochure here. In addition, Factory will have to be disabled. Probably most gameplay rooms will have to be disabled. But I'll show you how you can do your test. You can verify what needs to be done and what doesn't. But since I know the Sound Pack Manager is going to cause me problems, I'm going to go ahead and kill it. You'll notice I have pretty much everything downloaded and nothing enabled. I'll show you how I did that as well. You don't have to do that. I find it more convenient, aside from when I have to test your all's bombs. But let's load this sucker back up. So, with the mod pack that I mentioned you'll need, there's just a mission pack. KTaNE League Fall 2020. It has staff picks, it has all the EFM lists, and it has all the team lists. Now these, if you're going to play around and test with them, you will need to enable a slightly bigger bomb, which I'll do just to show you. There we go. That's just the list of that player's module pools. Now, you'll notice all of these. I also have full team names in here for those of you who gave me ridiculous team names. You can start them. You can run your tests. You know, practice with this if you want. That's what this is here for. This message, during your actual runs, you do not want to be seeing this. This is a bad thing to see, and we'll come back to that. But yeah, you can test all your modules this way, and that'll be good. So, I've mentioned there's a couple of things you're going to want to check before you get ready to do your runs. You're going to need to make sure that, as I said, you don't really have many services, you have no gameplay rooms, you have no audio changes, you have no bomb casings enabled. So I need to actually disable that bomb casing. You'll need to make sure your tweaks settings are correct. I've pinned mine to the top because I have to reference it a lot. you will need to make sure that pretty much everything is exactly how I have it here. Instant skip doesn't seem to hurt anything. Skip gameplay delay must be unchecked. Better case picker should be unchecked. If you don't have cases, it shouldn't change anything. Enable mods only key doesn't matter. Fix foreign exchange rates. That module's bomb doesn't matter. Bomb HUD needs to be on. Since some of these will be restreamed, that is one thing that goes up on the restream. I need the bomb HUD. The edge work, however, no. Disable advantageous features obviously needs to be off because it'll turn off the HUD. Show tips, don't care. Hide table contents, don't care. Mission seed, you're not going to need to mess with this. Case generator needs to be off. Module tweaks needs to be off. This is what's going to kill some people. DBML probably needs to be off. I will show you that it's not going to... I'm probably going to get the wrong thing when I run my test bomb until I fix this. But yes, those are going to be the tweaks settings that you need. Alright, so let's say you're ready to do a bomb. You practiced, you're ready, you want to get to it. What do? Well, you're going to go into your Discord. There is a mission launcher bot that is in the tournament directors group. You're just going to tell them, I'm under the PandaBot name here, as you can see. I'm going to say I'm going to do my EFM run. So I'm going to, if you're not sure the commands, you can send it a help, like so. Okay, well, I want a bomb. And if I don't know what the bombs are called, there they are. I have an EFM test, the first bomb, and the second bomb. I want the EFM test. I want to run the test. So I'm going to DM the bot. You must DM the bot, EFM test. It will give you a web link and a picture. Now, you're going to make sure your game is here in the setup room, and you're just going to click this link. And when you do that, it's going to open up something in a web page, which is fine. And then, boop, it's going to launch the game for you. It's going to launch a bomb. Now, notice I have DBML on. I'm 99% sure this is not going to match this test image here. In fact, if I look at it, yeah, notice my modules are in the wrong place. My Boolean Vin doesn't match. My forget it all, or whatever the forget thing is, doesn't match. My edge work does match. And you'll see that happens if you've got some things set up differently, but not all of them. So I've got the right edge work, but none of the modules match. This is because DBML is on. And what it's going to do is it's going to have randomized something that the test did not do. For consistency's sake, we're trying to eliminate as much of that variation as possible, so we need to make sure that everybody is doing it the same way, which means no DBML probably. So, what I suggest, this is how I personally do like the test runs, for example, is I'll go over here to mod settings, tweaks, I'll actually turn it on once, I'll go into mods, I'll manage my mods, could take it a minute, and I apologize because there's going to be a little bit of a waiting that I should probably fast forward. Bandage mods. We said we know that sound pack needs to be fixed, so let's fix that real quick. Sound pack. Did I already turn that off? I did. Okay, so that's off. That should disable anything that can be safely disabled. You may or may not want to do that. If you have a whole bunch of mods that you know you're going to play with constantly and you want to make sure they're on, a whole bunch of others are off, that's fine. You're just going to need to add the ones you need. If you don't do that, also cool. Just be aware, this will help with load times here in a minute. Now, we're going to go back to tweaks. We're going to turn it off. The change will only take effect when you enter the mod manager. Press F2 to do it automatically, so I hit F2. It'll load. It's going to immediately kick me out because it just refreshed. And again, what I'm telling you, you may be able to skip some of these steps, but this is what I have found is the most reliable way to get things consistent. And I'm going to hop back to that once we get something that matches the test seed. So I'll be back here in the main room, and notice since all the modules got turned off, I can't actually run the staff picks. And notice you're still here. I guess that makes sense. So I'm going to need to turn all these on. Luckily, here's a nice listing of all of the modules, ones that aren't under their name. I've tried to make sure that those have what mod you'll need subscribed to down here. So let's slide this over a little bit. And since we're doing the staff only bomb, I'm just going to take the staff picks here, and I'm going to enable those modules and those modules only. I can do more, and if I had, you know, a one-on-one versus, say, 50 Shades, I'd enable all theirs too. Up to you what you want to have enabled. I'm not here to dictate that. I'm just saying that you will have to. I'm not dictating everything you have. I am dictating that these will have to be enabled or it's not going to work. So I need, we'll go through real quick and add these. Bash Cipher, Blockbusters, Boolean Vin, Color Edition, Colored Switches, Flyers, Set, Gridlock, not vanilla modules, Sweet Wall, and Visual Impairment. Now, this is tedious a little bit. I know. I apologize. Got to be done. Should add 10 mods. Yep. After this is done, I'm actually going to restart the game. I have found that is the most reliable next thing to do. Make sure anything you've turned off is off and hasn't been loaded since the game's been booted. It's just all in all a safer approach, I think. Now, I will be able to make sure that I got all the mods that I needed by trying to just see if I can activate this, which I can, which means I have all the mods. If I try to play a Suze, yeah, I don't have all of his mods, or all of Caleb's, or all of Ghost's. So you can check to make sure you have everything done, and then I highly advise restarting the game. So we're going to close it. And look, it's me. And then we're going to reopen it. Oh, I have Unity up, so that's interfering, so I'm going to have to do that again. There we go. There's my game booting. Shouldn't take too terribly long to go through this. It's only 21 mods. Worst case scenario, you've got your picks, opponent's picks, staff picks, 15 and 15 and 10. If there's no vetoes across the board, is 40 modules plus maybe 10 services, 50. Shouldn't be too hard to load that. So we've got our 50 mods. We'll notice, yep, can still do staff picks, still can't do the others. All my settings are where I want them. I've got my profile on that I need. Check. I've got no extraneous services. I've got no extra bomb casings. I've got no gameplay rooms. Should be good to go. Now, oops. I should already have this link. I don't need to re-request it. Not a big deal. We're just going to launch it. You can kind of hear the game in the background starting up. There's the game. Musical. Beautiful. And this, you'll notice, is all of a sudden a perfect match for this test image. Now, this test image was gotten on a different computer. This test image was done on my work laptop, whereas I'm doing this particular video on my primary laptop, or my primary computer rather. So this deals with the issue of things being inconsistent. Serial number matches. Yep. Modules appear to match. These will usually have some sort of note at the bottom that you should check these to confirm. So gridlock at C3. And on not maze, I should go down, left, down, down, and then down will be a strike. Down, left, down, down, down will be a strike. Perfect. So my test looks good. I'm ready to roll with my main run. A few things that you may note here. I have the HUD, but I do not have edge work. Obviously, that's going to be a difference. That's just you can see it and verify it. I have colorblind mode on. I don't care if you have colorblind mode on. Some people have to have it. I personally have to have it because I can't tell certain shades apart. So I have no problem with people using that. It is a insignificant advantage for people who don't have to have it, and truthfully, it's not like you can only use it if you need it. So, but yeah, so my module's good to go. My test is good to go. I'm ready to do my runs. So, ready to do my first run. I do EFM bomb 1. There's my link. Now, dbot records when this is given out. It is a 15-minute bomb, so if it's 2 hours later that you're done, that's a problem. You need to do the bomb pretty much as soon as you get this particular link up. That's why you have a test one and the table of contents stuff. So we're going to go through, we're going to do our bomb. I'm not actually going to sit here and do a bomb, so I'm going to detonate these pretty quickly. Well, I got 0 clears. That's not going to score well. I don't get to retry it. I don't get a second shot. You get 1 try, and then you're done. Okay, well, luckily we get 2 bombs, so I'm ready to do the second bomb. We'll pull it up. Notice, if I try to pull this before I'm in the setup room, well, I didn't click it quick enough. If you click it outside the setup room, it may or may not do anything. It may work. It may do nothing. It may queue up a command to shoot you into the bomb as soon as it gets back in there. So just be aware. Oh, I blew up again. Well, I'm done. A lot of people, when they sent their qualifier in, this is fine because I didn't go into huge detail on this. A lot of people, when they sent in their qualifier, did so via a log file analyzer link. Do not, I repeat, do not use the log file analyzer shortcut for this. The reason is, when you use that, it takes the bomb data, it takes part of your output log, not the whole thing. So A, it doesn't take the whole thing, which means I can't verify the whole thing. B, it takes it and it uploads it to KTaNE.dimwing.de. And if somebody is reasonably knowledgeable about how log file analyzer works, they can pull up your log file before they do their run. So if you use the log file analyzer through the shortcut, it's going to automatically upload to the server and you're going to cause problems. Do not do that. You do need to send an output log though. Where is it? Well, for the most part, and I think this is true on all 3 main operating systems, Windows, Mac, and Steam. You can go to the mod brochure, go to mod settings folder, which will pull up something like this. I don't want anything in this folder, but if I go up 1 folder, you should have output_log.txt if you're on Windows. You should have player.log if you're on Mac, and I think it's player.log on Linux as well, but I won't swear to that. It's one of the 2. You're going to take this file, you're going to come over here to your DM with the bot, and you're going to be like, oh, what's the command? I've blanked. Excuse me. Let's double check. I don't remember the command. It is submit. So you're going to do, oops, back to my DM with him, submit, and you're going to drag your file in, and you're done. Now you're not going to see this on your end, but as a TD, I have a little folder, a little channel that will show me all of the log files that have come in. Now keep in mind there is a logged time from when you've given this command to when you've given this command. If you do 3 15-minute bombs and it takes you 4 hours to upload log file, I'm going to have questions for you and your run's probably not going to count. If you do 3 15-minute bombs and it takes you 50 minutes, that's probably okay. Just be aware that if you have a suspiciously long amount of time between running the EFM commands or the team commands if you're a team player, commands are the same, it's just team bomb 1, team bomb 2, team test. There's a suspiciously long time, we're going to have problems. So make sure you do not hesitate on that. If you're a little paranoid about that, which I'll be honest, I usually am, hop into your private chats, go to your channel, and drop the log file in there too. Like so. Doesn't go in the other folder now, but that's okay. At least it is something that is easily accessible to the TDs. And it has a timestamp that we can be like, oh yeah, it's been 5 minutes since he started. He must not have done well. So that is how you're going to run your bombs. That's how you're going to verify your seeds. That's how pretty much all of this works. Now I will say, be careful and make sure you have everything enabled. You notice I went here, I double-checked staff picks, I made sure that I could run it. There's a reason for that. If, let's say, gridlock's on my bomb. Let's say I've got gridlock disabled. And this is also why I suggest making sure you have all solvables and all needies enabled here. The mission will take care of which ones need to be pulled. But let's say I can't do gridlock. It's not, I've disabled it. If I try to run this thing now, it's going to try to run it. It's going to be like, oh, I don't know what gridlock is. And you're going to get stuck here. And you're going to be trapped here. Nothing's clickable. Nothing works. You've soft locked the game. So make sure that you are able to run for this first week the TD set. For future weeks, the TD set, your set, and your opponent's set. You don't need to actually run them. Just make sure if you go to them in the table of contents in the mission binder that they are accessible. That does not tell you you have missing mods, or this will happen. I think that covers all of the basics. I'm sure there will be further questions. If you have questions, or if you have certain things from this video that you would like clarified more, specified on, or you think need to be made into a personal message, let me know. We will either one-on-one talk about this more, I will make a supplemental video, we'll type some extra instructions in chat, whatever we need to do to make sure it works for everyone. Since you do have 2 bombs on this one, that's in case, you know, you've done something weird, you try to run bomb 1, and this happens to you. There is no chance, well, there's a chance, but there's a slim chance you're going to be able to fix this and then run your bomb and then get it in and me not ask questions about why it took you so long. That's why you get 2 tries this time, and I'll take the better run. And as a side note, the test stuff that the bot got is not going to be what you get, so don't think you've got the shortcut to the answers. Anyway, this is long enough. I think that sums up what we need to say. So, any questions, please bring them up in the League Discord, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And until then, have fun, good practice. Don't forget to get your vetoes in by the end of the week. In case we do get one additional EFM player, probably McD, who said that he was going to try to get one in by Wednesday, I'll give a slight extension on getting his vetoes against him in. I think that's all I got. So good luck and have fun, guys.